Hello, this is Johnny. I have a 2 terabyte right there, say 2 terabyte hard drive, and this is what it looked like in the front. Bought this long time ago for Virtualman external hard drive. That's the biggest you want to get because if you get any more bigger, it's really not necessary. So 2 terabyte is big enough for everything. Now I also use a 512 SD card. So what I'm going to do is plug this one to the back of my the fast speed, the 3.0, the second one, not the top one, but the bottom one. So I'm gonna plug that in. So for example, if this is the Raspberry Pi 3B. So the Raspberry Pi B4, this 2 is the 3.0. It's not black, it's blue. So I'm gonna plug it to the bottom one, okay? And also the Raspberry Pi 4, this network is over here. So this is Raspberry Pi 3, okay? So both of these 4 ports the same, but the Raspberry Pi 4B, 4 gigabyte, that one is the first one. Second one, I'm gonna plug the 3.0, so that way we'll get the most out of it, the speed. So I'm gonna plug it to the bottom, okay, of the Raspberry Pi. And I have the same the ice towel. They call this an ice towel fan, but there's no ice on it, okay? It's just a fan, it's just a name. There's a fan, there's a heat sink, aluminum, and then copper at the bottom, okay? And this one right now is the best one to have for Raspberry Pi 4. Now you could buy some kind of a case that still, due to the test result, this is the one have the best test result in cooling the Raspberry Pi. So by putting this, and it comes with this plate, so you could just screw this on to the wood or whatever you want to. I'm just going to probably just screw it to the wood and then just leave it like that, okay? And the temperature is stay pretty cool. So I really like this one, and I recommend this one if you wanted to buy a Raspberry Pi 4B. Make sure you get the 4B 4 gigabyte, okay, of RAM, because 4 gigabyte RAM is the one that actually allow you to play some of the game that doesn't play well in Raspberry Pi 3B plus. So the 4B 4 gigabyte RAM, that one I recommend get that one. Or wait for the new one that come out. Is a 64-bit, is a 4B Raspberry Pi, but it's a 8 gigabyte of RAM, plus it's a 64-bit, going to be a 64-bit processor operating system as well. And that one probably will do better than the regular 4B 4 gigabyte. So if you want to wait till the Raspberry Pi come up with the latest version for the new model that they released, I think they released it this month, the 8 gigabyte RAM with a 64-bit operating system support. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put the hard drive to the back, and I'll show you what I do to make this work. All right. So make sure you format it with format it first. And we're going to go to the computer, and I'll show you when I transfer the RAM over, and we will talk about that again. But make sure you format it as a NTFS. Linux and Windows recognize the NTFS format, okay? So you format like, you could even use bigger than 2 terabyte, but I recommend, if you want to cut costs, 2 terabyte is good enough for Virtualman's image and plus his add-on. Okay, it's because right now we don't have anything new to add on. Unless we already pretty much loaded like 800 PlayStation. on his add-on. So I mean, you could go up to like close to maybe a 2,000. I think PlayStation have close to 2,000 game, but even if you go up to a 1,000, it's good enough, because I mean that's a lot of PlayStation game, and that use up a lot of space. So unless Virtualman decided to add more PlayStation to it, I think 2 terabyte is good enough for and everything else is pretty much a full set. Open board, he could add more, because he only add like 300. There's 695 open board, so there's another 395 that he haven't added yet. And I mean, I could see this going up to 8 terabyte, because, well, let me take that back, maybe 4 terabyte, because not everything is Raspberry Pi does not support GameCube, does not support the Atari JAWS, not very well, and GameCube and Saturn, Sega Saturn. So if they start supporting that and also support Wii U and PlayStation 2, I could see it going up to 8 terabyte. But right now, 2 terabyte to the max 4 terabyte is good enough. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the option. So with this model and in the early stage, I think 2 terabyte is good enough. You know, because the more you put onto the system, the more you probably will not play it, because you got so much you don't know which one you really want to play. You know, and there's only a collection of the one that you really want to play, and you don't really need to have everything in there. So we already got the network set up. I changed the password back to uppercase. It's called the play box. P as an uppercase and B as an uppercase. So the password is actually uppercase B and P as in play and B as in box. So play box. Okay. So there's only 2 characters for the password. So I'm going to go to the, let's see if I remember. I need to set up the USB. So here you go, USB. So you go to System Tool. You guys can see all that. Okay, so you go System Tool, press A. Then you select the USB. So make sure you format first to NTFS, and then you have to label it correctly. Okay, if you don't label it correctly, it won't see it. So we will talk about when we go to the computer, and I'll tell you exactly what you need to label it. Okay, because I don't have my note next to me right now. So you format it to NTFS first, change the name to correct name, then you put this in, then you enable that. So we're gonna go ahead and press A again, and we're gonna enable it. Now when we enable it, right now the system only see, if you type in PlayBox 4, it only see ROM directory. But once you enable this, it will see SD card ROM and external USB. So it will see both, and you will later, when we go to see computer, when we type in backslash PlayBox 4, you will see that now they added 2 extra folder in there. All right, so now we're going to external USB SD hard drive. We are going to enable it. Okay, now make sure you're using Virtualman version 1.5. okay, PlayBox 1.5, because if it's not 1.5, it's not going to work. Okay, see the bottom is right now running that command. Let me see if I can zoom in more bigger. So it's running all that nice big long command right there. Okay, now it finished, it's rebooting. It just did a shutdown. So now before you unplug the computer back on, let's go ahead and go to the computer, and we're gonna plug the computer, we're gonna plug the hard drive in, and then we're gonna transfer file in there. Okay. Okay, hi, we are in the computer right now. Now the format you want to right now, when I pop it in, it create a folder called ROMs. Okay, and you have a folder called pi-ext-roms, okay, ROMS. You want all this in the lowercase. So I'll put that in the description so you will know exactly how to label it. Let me see if I can zoom this in so you can see it. Okay. So you want to label your hard drive as the way this shows. So for example, if you do property and you see mine is format to NTFS, okay, NTFS, and the physical, I did not compress it. I don't know how well does Linux handle that, so I left that alone. Okay, I did not compress the hard drive, so I just leave that alone. And the physical name, you need to call it pi-ext-roms. So this is how you're going to label it. So for example, if you was to format your 2 terabyte hard drive, you just click on the word format, and you just change it. You just put in the name right here, and then you just select the NTFS. Do not select exFAT, okay? Just select NTFS, because otherwise it will not work. Okay, it have to be an NTFS format, okay? And then you just click start. All right, and that's it. All right, so mine's already formatted, mine's already labeled correctly, and then now it created a folder called ROM. Inside all this is already created. So what you do is you open up another folder and just transfer the file over. So for example, my stuff is in I guess this is in a Virtualman's directory add-on, and here's all the stuff that I had downloaded from Virtualman's directory. Okay, so let me bring it closer and let me zoom back out. All right, so what I'm going to do is take the file and transfer over. So when you download it, see, for example, I download this one, Adam's Atomic Wave. So you got all this file. So what you do is, let me see, which one did I did? No, this is from the SD card. Let me I apologize, that's the wrong one, because I want to make a copy of my stuff before I delete it. That's the reason I have that. So for example, Virtualman Atomic add-on, okay, right there, this one. Okay, so if you open it, it have a folder called ROMs, okay, and when you download it, it's going to give you a torrents. So you need to download a file called a torrents program. So for example, mine is called a qbit torrents. Qbit torrents are version 4.2.3. Now you probably could get a different version. Probably the newer version is coming out already. So here's some of the stuff that I'm downloading. I'm just downloading more main game, a game set. So that one's finished. That one's finished. So I'm gonna pause it. So those game is already finished download. The ROM set for May. Okay. So this is the program that I use to download. Okay. So when you sign up with them, he's going to give you the link, give you permission, and then you could copy and paste, and then it will work. If you do not set up account with them and they not give you the access, they will send you emails and also let you know that you're being grounded with the access. Then you could copy the link that from Virtualman form, and then you could paste it anywhere in the browser. Now make sure you're logged into your Google account, because it follows your Google account. So for example, I accidentally used my son's account when I set up mine. So now every time my browser, I have to use my son's account in order for it to work. Okay, so Virtualman want to keep it more private for people who actually sign up with him. So I can't go into too much detail, but he will, when you request for user account, they will send you all the information, read your README file, welcome file. Make sure you read that read it word by word, because I did not do that and I got confused. Okay, so read it carefully and then it will become easy. It's not that hard, but you have to make sure you read everything on the welcome file that he had the link to it. You have to read it. Okay, then once you download it, you have a folder called ROM. Now you could just copy and paste it, or you could just go into atoms. Since I'm already in the ROM, I could just take that, copy, and then I just come over here and just click on paste. Okay, now I already have the atomic wave already copied, so I'm gonna go to where is it at? AT right here. Okay, so I already have 30 file in here. So atomic wave is roughly around 30 games total. Okay, so I already transferred into my external hard drive. Okay, so if you look at it, this is my external hard drive, which is right here, the I drive. All right, so you just have to download all that, and then just copy the whole thing, the whole folder. You can copy the whole folder and drop it in. Okay, and same thing with you could either do it like this way, or you could open it up and then do copy, and then open this up and then do paste. All right, so that's all you have to do. And then we're going to boot it up, and I'm going to go ahead and go to the atomic wave on the other hard drive and deleting it from the micro SD card, the 512, because the game that you have here from atomic wave, some of them are identical with the one in the network. Okay, so my Raspberry Pi right now is not boot up yet because it shut down when I told it to create the USB. It created this, and it created a folder called ROM. Okay, now if you already have a folder called ROM, you don't have to worry about it. It won't delete anything. So when you create it, you could connect to it, you could disconnect to it. It won't delete anything in your folder. See, I already had this folder created from the very first time, and all my files still there. We just check it. So if you could also check the PlayStation, because he also give you a set of PlayStation. So atomic wave, PlayStation, Commodore 64, we are going to go and delete it from the SD card. Okay, and I'll show you. I'll open two windows and I'll show it to you. So this is all the one that I download: Neo Geo CD, Commodore 64, open board 300 game, and then 3 Doom. It came from Virtualman, Super Nintendo CD, Atomic Wave, Dreamcast, Naomi, and Swam. Can't pronounce that one. Swamby, and then the PlayStation 1, PlayStation PSP, and that's it. Okay, so those are the ones that he have already. Now next week he will have another one called the what you call it, the RK. He's gonna bring us another 2000 I think roughly 2000 game, but I don't remember exactly now. I think he said 2000. You can look at the episode 11, the video that he did. Today he did a video 12, but 2 days ago he did a video 11, episode 11. So that one he did talk about how many ROM that he's bringing to the table. I missed the episode 12, so I might have to go back and look at that one. So I don't know, he's bringing more or he's bringing less. I had no idea, because he's testing it and see which one works and which one doesn't work. So okay, so now all this is done. I'm just going to click I can't reject it because it's not a SD card, so I have to come to my USB, and you have to safety reject the pi-ext-rom. So yeah, we check that. Otherwise, if you unplug it, it's not good for the hard drive. All right. So I'm just gonna wait till it say it's safe to remove. There you go. Right there, say safe to remove. Now I could unplug the my hard drive. All right. So now we're gonna take this hard drive. And we're gonna plug it in the back of the Raspberry Pi, and then we're gonna boot it up and see if it see all the game. Okay. All right. Okay, the game boot up, and I just want to show it to you that it says 37, but there's two game lists. One is from the SD card and one is from the hard drive. Now, if you go in here, you will say, well, how come there's no video, no graphic? It's because it's reading from the SD card. It's not reading from the hard drive. So this is why you have to delete the one on the SD card, and that way you will use the correct game list. So if you go down the list, I think there's only 10 or 9. There's only 9 games here that actually have graphic and description and all this. So you will have to remove the old one and put the new game list in here. Okay, this is coming from all this information is coming from game list, the game list.xml. So you have to delete the stuff that is from the SD card, and otherwise you're gonna have a lot of games in here that don't have pictures or graphic. Okay, so that's that one we have to delete. And then Commodore 64 is the same thing. Like this one doesn't show up because that's a new one that was added to the Commodore 64. That one is new, and so you're gonna have some that have graphic and some don't, and that is because it's reading the SD card game list. Okay, it's not reading from the hard drive. So Commodore 64 is the other one we have to delete, and Dreamcast as well. Dreamcast, you have more game now. You have 300 game, and so we need to delete the one from the hard drive. I mean, not the hard drive, the SD card, the 512 micro SD card. So we have go to the SD card ROM folder, delete that as well, and also PSP, and also PlayStation. So all those are also Nintendo 64. He added the new Nintendo 64 in here. So you're gonna have some that are not going to have graphic. So we have moved that over there too. I think the original only have like 300, and now it's like they all look like they have graphic. Some of them don't have it. Alright, and then Naomi, I think so too. I think on Naomi, yeah, Naomi doesn't have, she doesn't have a picture. Okay, and then Nintendo CD now have 100. Now Nintendo CD don't have any game originally. I don't think it does, or maybe it did. Yeah, I got the different one in here, so we need to delete that one too. All right, and then we also have to delete the beating up, because now it's 300. Before it was only 61. So you're gonna have some here that doesn't have graphic either. Okay, see this one don't have it either. All right, and this one he have 80. This one I put this in there. This one does. Virtualman do not have PCFX. He didn't know what was that. PCFX is made by NES. Okay, NES is a company that make TurboGrafx and PC Engine and all that, and their game set is not the same. It's not like Sega Genesis and Mega Drive. Okay, and he actually put the name together, so I already separate them, and I'm gonna put in my Turbo 16 graphic and PC Engine separate from each other. They are not the same game set, so I'm gonna be doing that on my own, because yeah, he was giving me example that Sega Genesis and Mega Drive, they just call it different name, but they actually have the same game set. So he put the shortcut of Sega Genesis point to Mega Drive. You could do that because Sega bring most of their Japanese game to America, so their game set are similar. You know, like Super Nintendo, same thing. The game set is very similar, but PC Engine did not have the chance to do that because they went out of business. So PC Engine Turbo 16 CD have less game than a PC Engine CD, and also PC Engine 8-bit graphic card, Hugo card, same thing. So those need to be see, those don't have graphic. So once we delete the one on the SD card, then this graphic will show up. So we could go ahead and go to the computer, and I'll show you what to delete, and then we will come back here and check this out, and then you will see, then you understand what I mean, because you don't want to leave both of them together because it doesn't know which game set to use, and so it's confused the system. Okay, all right, so let's go to the computer again. Okay, so when we're in the computer and we're in the browser, it could be any browser, it doesn't have to say network, but right here you're going to type in / / and you're not going to type in the IP address because you want to type in PlayBox 4, okay, because that's how it was set up from Virtualman. All right, here that's where you're going to type in Pi and then the password Raspberry. Okay, now I already been in there before, so that's why it didn't ask me again. So when you first time, you know, now you have two drives. You got external and SD card. SD card is on the 512 gigabyte SD card. That's the one you're gonna delete, and this is the one you're gonna double check to make sure you have stuff inside, because you don't want to delete the wrong folder. Correct? Okay. So we're going to open up the external drive. I'm gonna move it closer to this side, so that way I can see that this one, and then I'm gonna open up the SD card. All right. So we're gonna go to 3 Doom, because Doom is one of the new one was added, and let's make sure there's nothing inside here. Okay, so it's empty. There's no game list. There's no nothing. That's how you want it. You want it totally nothing in there. Okay, so you get out there. Get out there. The next one would be arcade. So we're gonna go to arcade and arcade. Now, if you do one at a time, you won't have this much problem. Okay. Okay, right now we don't have any because he will be giving us the new one soon. Okay, but in the future, if based on his instruction, if he give us the whole new set with everything in it, then you could just delete the whole thing. That's what he did in the past. Okay, I don't know if he's able to give you the whole thing again, or he wants you to keep this old one and then paste it to the new one. I don't know. So this is okay, but we don't have anything until Thursday. Okay, Thursday, almost a week from now. Let's see, what day would that be? He said Thursday, so that would be on the 18th of June. So June 18, you could start looking for his arcade ROM set. That's what he say will be posting it out, Virtualman. All right, so the next thing we're gonna look at, so let's get out of arcade. So we're not gonna touch arcade, and I think the next one is Commodore 64, and then Dreamcast. Okay, so we're gonna go to Commodore 64. So this is my hard drive, and I have 562. In the past, it's only 87. So we're gonna highlight everything, Control A. All right. Now, if you don't feel safe, what you want to do is back up all your ROM folder. Back it all up, which I did. I back up all my 512, and that's the reason I haven't done the video right away, because I was backing up my 512 SD card just in case. Okay, so you can now go ahead and highlight everything and just press delete, and make sure this is 87 and this is 562, and it say SD card. You want to make sure it say SD card right there, SD card. You don't want to delete the wrong one. Okay, this is your external, that's your hard drive. You want to keep the hard drive, you want to delete the SD card. So we're going to say yes, delete Commodore 64. All right, so you want to delete everything. All right, while that one's deleting, we're going to go down to the next one, which would be after C will be a Dreamcast. So we're going to go down. I don't think there's anything in Daffy. I don't think there is. No, there's nothing in Daffy. Okay, so we're gonna go to Dreamcast next, and there's 314. We will go down to the Dreamcast. All right, and this one's only 101. Okay, so he gave you 300, actually 200 more before it only is 100. So we're gonna highlight this whole thing right here, Control A. All right, and we're just going to click on delete and then say yes, permanent delete. And let's make sure again is we're deleting 101. Yes, and that is SD card Dreamcast. Yes. Okay. All right, because we don't want to delete the 101. It's going to take forever to. It's a good idea to unplug your hard drive. Don't transfer data directly from internet. It takes a long time. Okay, deleting doesn't take long, but when you transfer a file from computer to computer, then you know. So that will take a long time. All right. So the next one we're gonna go to. We finished Dreamcast. We're gonna go to the S. Well, no, we're going to Nintendo 64. Nope, there's no Nintendo 64. Sorry. Something Neo Geo CD. Yeah. Oh, Naomi. We've got to do Naomi. Let's do in order. Naomi. I have new set, so we need to go to Naomi. I don't think Naomi have anything in there. There you go. Okay. Naomi have 106. And this one have 96. Oh, this is my Naomi, and this is theirs. Huh. Okay. So Naomi, I don't think he gave us any Naomi, did he? Let's make sure. Dreamcast, Naomi, yeah. He gave us 91 game. Naomi. Let's go to the ROM. There's 94 total because there are those 3 files plus this extra. So that's 94. How come this one? How come I don't have it on the hard drive? Yeah, 94. Okay. So I already have 94 here. Here, I don't know why it say 106. Because here say 94. Here is 106. That's weird. This one would be PlayStation, PSP, and that's 519 PSP game. And the hard drive now should have more. Should be 800 something. 929 file in here. So we're going to delete this one, 519. 519 is going to take probably a long time to delete. Alright, that's it. That's pretty much it. Everything that is on the hard drive is on the hard drive, and everything on SD card is being removed. So he have PSP, PlayStation, Scumby, and Naomi, Dreamcast, Atomic Wave, Super Nintendo CD, and 3D, they call it 3D, which is Panasonic company, Open Board, Nintendo CD, not Nintendo, Neo Geo CD, sorry, Commodore 64, and that's it. That's all the one that he have. And oh, Atomic Wave. Well, I think I already repeat that. Atomic Wave somewhere over here. Alright, that's pretty much it. So those are the one that you need to put on the hard drive, and if it's on the SD card, you want to remove it. Okay? So now we're going to go back to, after this is all deleted, you want to go ahead and do a clean reboot. That way it will read the correct game list. Okay? because if you just delete and go over there, the system is not going to be correct. So you want to go ahead and restart your system. Okay, and I noticed that the new upgrade for Raspberry Pi, the energy, the what you call it, the saving the battery, the overheating, for the heat sink and stuff like that. The new Raspberry Pi, they already have it, because when I tried to do an upgrade on it, I noticed that the file is already there. So the new Raspberry Pi operating the new version is the new kernel, and the new upgrade already included that. So that means that your heat sink and all that shouldn't be overheated. Should be good. All right, we're gonna go to the computer. Go to the arcade 1UP and let's check out everything. Hi, I press F4 and I'm over here in the command prompt looking at the shortcut. It turned out that I can, I don't know what he did to get, I know how he created a shortcut and how to remove the shortcut, but I do not know why is it not pointing to my Turbo 16. So he must have done something different. So I'm trying to put it back. So by typing ls-LAH, you will get this list right here. Okay, so you get all this list and it will show you the shortcut. So what I did is I add this shortcut back in. Now I need to add the Turbo CD back in. So I'm going to type in LN, and you could type in -- help, and that will give you the list of all the commands, okay, how to use it. So what I'm going to do is type in the LN, S for symbolic, make a symbolic link instead of a hard link. So use a soft symbolic link, and then I need to type in the path. So what I'm going to do is going to do the ls LAH LAH. Forgot the dash LAH. Okay, so this is the path, what I need to type. So I need to type in LN space -s, and then I need to type the physical location of the Pi Retro Pi ROMs, and I'm going to point to PC Engine CD, and I'm going to create a shortcut called TurboGrafx-16 CD. I think that's the correct name. I think TurboGrafx-CD. Okay, and now if I type in the list, the LSILAH, it will tell me that now Turbo 16 is pointing to the Pi PC Engine CD. Okay, because there's physically there's one up here that is called PC Engine CD, but I don't have the he doesn't have a physical Turbo 16. He's pointing Turbo 16 CD to that directory. Okay, so I put it back so that way. Now if you want to remove it, for example, if I want to remove the TurboGrafx-16 CD, I just type in RM and then TurboGrafx-16-CD. Okay, so if I do the LS again, the LS-LAH, see the Turbo 16 CD is gone. Okay, that's how you remove it. If you don't want any of those shortcuts that he created, that's how you remove it. But apparently I have to put it back because it doesn't work for me by taking it out. So now my Turbo 16 CD doesn't show up. So I'm going to put the home PC Engine CD back to Turbo 16. Okay, So now I'm gonna go ahead and reboot it, and let's see my Turbo 16 will come back. Hi, just a quick look on the Virtualman's image. I recommend that you back up your Virtualman 512 because I try to modify the game list, and every time I try to modify the game list, I run into problem where I have to redo the Virtualman image again, reburn the 512, and it takes several hours, like maybe 4 to 6 hours just to burn the image. So, and then I have to run the upgrade and all that, and it just pain in the neck because I have to do the upgrade. Now, just FYI, I know I did a video showing you guys how to do the update, but I found out that after updating, I run into problem where the sound does not work anymore. Okay, and this is happening to some viewer that asked me the same question. Now, I want to try to fix it, but I'm afraid that I will mess up my image again. So I made a backup copy, so that way I don't have to redo the update to from 4.5 point. I'm sorry. His is 4.5.6, either 6 or 8. I don't remember. And then I upgrade to 4.6.1, the latest version of RetroPie. So what I did is I put the SD card in there, and I browsed the network, and I put it into a directory. Now, don't call the name too long, because my mistake was I called the image way too long, and I call it this long. I put down 512 SD card image backup for version 4.6, overclock 2.1. This image is overclocked, and it connected to 2 TB hard drive, and also there's no sound. Okay, what did I put an H there? There's no sound. So that's the name I first called it, but it was way too long, so it crashed. So I had to I said, oh no, I have to wait for another 6 hours. So I went and redid I make it shorter, but I put a text file here to remind me what this image is about. So maybe a couple of months later, when I go back and look at it, I say, oh, okay, this image have everything but no sound. Okay, it already upgrade to a new Raspberry Pi 4.6, and it's already being overclocked, and also it connected to 2 TB hard drive. So it's a good idea to back up your data, because if you change anything and something go wrong, by deleting the game list, for example, I was playing with Atari Java, and by deleting it, I come back and it still show everything is 0. Okay, all my game, arcade, PlayStation, PSP, everything is 0 game, no game, 0 byte. And so, and physically there is game, but the game list is totally destroyed. I don't know how, and I don't know how to bring it back. So I had to reburn the image. And also, when you upgrade to the latest version of the kernel and everything, like the video I showed you guys, your sound might not work. So if I figured out how to get the sound working again, I will definitely put a video out there for people who have the problem with the sounds not working. It first gave me an error, and then later it say that when I do a full reboot, not just emulation reboot, but a full reboot, and that's when I get the error message. Okay, and then this is the SD card that I use to burn it. It's a scan disk. I think they having it like 80. I got it for like $89. It was pretty expensive, and I think the price went down to maybe less than $80. I don't know. So you might want to constantly check it just to see what price is. I didn't buy the. Let me see. I did buy the 3. Yeah, I sure did. Yeah, 3. The speed performance is better than 1. As you could tell right there, there's a 3 right there. It's not focusing very well because all the stuff in the background. Okay, that's the 3. don't know what's there over there on that side. It's a +3. Okay, there you go. All right, so that's the one I'm using. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the computer. I mean, not in the computer. I keep on calling computer. RK1UP modded cabinet. I'm gonna put that in with my hard drive, 2 TB, and let's see how the system boot up. Okay. All right. Okay. With the Raspberry Pi, with this power, by plugging the hard drive directly to it without any power supporting it, it's okay for Raspberry Pi 4. But if you're using it for Raspberry Pi 3B, it's good to get one that have a hard drive that have a power support, like 1 GB Western Digit WD. Western Digit that this is for me to tape stick on, that have a built-in power where you could plug in the power to the other end and then share the power to Raspberry Pi, or you don't need to share it, just have this power up by itself. Because if you share the power with Raspberry Pi 3B, for some reason their power outlet, the AC plug, the power box cable is not powerful enough, like this. Okay, this thing is not powerful enough. I'm using the tester to see what kind of power juices have. This thing, even though it's good with Raspberry Pi, but if you add more stuff to it, like hard drive, it's not going to be enough. And then every time you boot up, you're going to get like voltage, low voltage on Raspberry Pi 3B plus. Okay, I've seen that problem a lot with the Raspberry Power, the box outlet. Okay, I call this box outlet. I don't know what's the correct, the AC plug, the AC box outlet. I don't know what's the terminology, but you got my point. So you need to so I'm gonna go ahead and put this 512 to the Raspberry Pi 4, and yeah, put it face down. Okay. All right, so I burn an image. Now I can play with it. Something go wrong, I don't have to start from a very beginning again. Got the direct network connected. Okay, I got I got that hard drive plugged into the very bottom where the blue cable is. So let me unplug this so you can see what I'm talking about. I do want to show you how I plug it in so you guys know. Okay, so these two are the blue one that I was telling you guys about. Those are the fast speed one. And so I put the hard drive at the bottom, and I put the player 1, it got a label 1 on the blue one, player 2 on this side, number 2, see the 2 on this side. Okay, so if you want player 1, player 2, and then here is my trackball, okay, and my keyboard. You say, well, it's only one plug. Well, how come you say keyboard and trackball? And because I have a little adapter, the white cable, that give me 1, 2, 3, 4 port. Okay, so I plug in the trackball and my keyboard. Okay, so that give me the option. And then I make the leg longer, so give me when I put it on top of the RK1UP, I still have space to pull the thing out. I don't have to pick it up or anything. So once this thing's working, I'm fixed to pretty much close the door and put this waiting for RK1UP to, I think today is Wednesday. Tomorrow he's releasing the RK1UP, the 2000 game instead of 1700. So I'm just going to like mount this on here and put this on the bottom, and that's pretty much it. You don't need a case. The case is for purpose for like helping to cool down, you know, keeping the air, sucking hot air out, you know. But if you have this tower, you want to get one that is a standing up tower. That one actually do a better job than the one laying down. Okay, based on the test on the heat sink that come with the fan. This is a heat sink that come with a fan They call it the ice tower. You want to get the one that is standing up because that one do a better job on cooling than the one is laying flat. Same company, but the one laying flat doesn't do as good as the one standing up. Okay, so I'm gonna put all this in there like that, pretty much. You know, probably go to the bottom and screw 4 screw on it, so this will stay here, won't move, and then put some kind of sticky thing, you know, just stick onto it so it won't move. That's pretty much it. And because this arcade is not going anywhere, so you don't have to like worry about that it will move around. And this I already tested, it stay on 34 Celsius, and when you playing game it go up to 43, and that's pretty much it. And I have it run 24 hours with overclock and no problem. And if those of you who are wondering about the Hyper Neo Geo 64, there's only 7 games and do not work on Raspberry Pi 4 B 4 GB, okay, because it just doesn't support it. I used May 2016, so those of you who want to try it, you could try it yourself. 2016 will load, but very, very slow, and the game you could kind of, you know, but it's just not good. Okay, it's Raspberry Pi 4B, it just can handle it. Okay, maybe the new one that they just released, the 64-bit, using the Raspberry Pi operating system, the new one, maybe. And but right now it's still in beta. They still haven't released the beta yet, so I don't know. But based on what is now, I'm looking at it and testing it, it do not work on it. Okay, just to let you guys know. All right, let's go look it up. Let's turn this thing on, turn the power on, and let's go check it out. Okay, so trying to finish this project. I forgot to show you the hard drive. You could get the hard drive. It's called the Element, Western Digit. Now, if you're using for, but somebody mentioned to me that you could partition the 2 TB to use the full storage, but the problem with the full storage, this one have 87 games. The problem using a full storage is that you have to install a Linux GUI, meaning the Linux desktop GUI interface, to run a program called gpots. Okay, I looked into that, and the problem I'm facing it is that that is a lot of step to do. You have to have a Linux GUI interface. This is just a command line with the emulator, so you don't have the GUI interface. So you use a Linux program to able to enlarge the disk space, so you could use the full amount of terabyte instead of just gigabyte. So if you burn this image 512 to a hard drive, you only able to use 512 gigabyte, not terabyte. Even you have 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, okay. And right now, based on my understanding, it will support 2 terabyte, but the problem is Windows cannot. Windows and Linux are not somehow not working together to give you. Right now, especially 4.0 version, it do not support that, and you have to do it yourself manually. And so I recommend to go ahead, use the new image that Virtualman created. Is a 32 gigabyte SD card, and then you could put everything using the NTFS format like I'm doing. Okay, you could put in 2 terabyte, you could put in 4 terabyte, 8 terabyte, it will work. Okay, but the problem is you have to use a Virtualman version 1.5 to for the script to work. I don't know about the 64 gigabyte, but the new one he released, 32 gigabyte SD card, micro SD card, it should work with the image. Now all this is running from directly from the hard drive. I delete everything. Last time we delete everything from the system, You don't want to leave any game list or anything. It will mess up everything. Okay, so make sure you delete everything from the folder, from the 512, and then you will run directly. When you run that program, you run everything from the hard drive. So let's check it out real quick. So everything now is working. All the graphic and video is working because we are running the game list from the hard drive. Okay, we're running the game list .xml from the hard drive. We're not running it from the internal SD card no more. Okay, so all this is running good. All this game 285 is from the hard drive itself. It's not running from the system. Okay, so you might be asking, well, how do they perform? Do they perform okay? You know, running directly from the hard drive. Well, we could test one right now. Test one that it only works in Raspberry Pi 4, Raspberry Pi 4B. This game called and that one, all this is on the hard drive. So let's try my favorite game, the Dolphin Blue. And this is running from a hard drive. Last time when I tested, it was running from SD card. So let's test this one, see how well this performs from the hard drive. And that hard drive, I bought it like maybe 4 years or 6 years ago. And that one, I was surprised it's still running good. I went and delete everything, move everything to my 8 terabyte and use the 2 terabyte instead. So far so good. The graphics is good. There's no slowdown. By the way, this game will run well without overclock. Mine is overclocked to a 2.0 because I want to play the killer instant. So this running from hard drive is running good. No slowdown. See, this is the message I got. So if you're outside, you're not going to get any. So let me bring that screen up to the corner so you can see it. Now, whenever you go into a game, it say the value control limit equal fail to low mix element. I think that's what I say. But if, let's try the arcade, the killer instant. Because I tried to talk to, he said he will include that game. That tomorrow we should be able to download the arcade, the 2000 game. He have some cool game that I never seen before. The last video he did, I didn't even know there's a countdown, something called Countdown Hunter or something. I don't remember now. And I tried to look for it and I couldn't find it on Google search. And he had that game. So it's almost like a Metal Slot game type game thing. All right, I'm going around circle. Okay. All right. So there's no music on my game, and I don't know what happened. I tried to fix it, but I don't want to damage my image again, so I didn't do anymore. So, all right. So let's go to that game. I just want to demonstrate real quick to let you know that this game does run well. Now, I also let you see what emulator that I'm using. I don't think I did. I didn't show you guys that. So let me show you. Okay, I'm using May 2003. Okay, so those of you who just are curious, there was an error again. That thing go by so quick. I have to look at several times to try to get that error message. But that's what the sound doesn't work no more. After the after you update the Raspberry Pi to the latest version. But I'm using the May 2003 on both of them, and even Google stop. I have an alarm clock set up. I'm gonna turn this one up so you could hear the sound. It's a little bit in the beginning, but overall gameplay, everything is running great. It is overclocked to 2.1, okay, using Virtualman. Now, if you're using a withstand, I don't think you could overclock that high. You only could overclock it to 1.75 because yeah. So in the beginning, the sound it doesn't sound good. Okay, but when you start playing it, there's no issue. How did I get that? I need to figure out how I did that. I'm dead. Nope. Okay. I also find the golden axe. I also find now the golden axe, the dual do not work, and also final fight. One of the final fight, I forgot what's the name. Okay, I need to get into the game. It's called the final fight. I think it's Events. Final fight Events. I couldn't get that one to work. Okay. So I got the, and I couldn't get the Super Mario, the Super Nintendo version in arcade here. I can't get to work. I got the Sonic 1, Sonic 2, okay, and Golden Axe 2, but I couldn't get the Final Fight 2. I got Final Fight 1. That one came with it, and Final Fight 2, I think that also come with it, but I couldn't get the Final Fight Events. I couldn't get that one to work, but I got the Final Fight Cash. It's the bootleg. Got that one working. It's almost the same like a regular arcade. So I got some of those things working. So just FYI. But yeah, so it's working now. Only thing I couldn't figure it out is why sound do not work. So I recommend go ahead and back up your data. Either that or don't do any upgrade, because apparently the upgrade have damaged something, and Virtualman say that don't do any update either because it could damage something. Now I noticed that when I went to the option and I did the upgrade, that is the tool that say do the upgrade, and when I did that, it messed up all my game set, and I couldn't figure out how to put it back. So unless you really know there's something wrong with your game, I don't recommend to do this, because I did it and it damaged my system. Okay, it didn't really do anything for me because all my game is working. So, but I think he said that you might have to run that when he finished with the arcade. So I might want to read on that instruction before I do anything. But let me show you what I have here now. See the value initialize element issue error there. Okay, I'm still on 37 Celsius. Now I noticed that when you, let me zoom in so you don't get that. Let me zoom out so you don't get that bright color. I noticed that after do the update, this one does have the latest version of the heatsink software, so you don't have to run that special software to bring the temperature down. It is already installed, so you don't have to run it. So that's one thing good about the Raspberry Pi, the latest version. It have that already in the operating system, so your temperature are good. Okay, so mine's 37. I played a couple games, still 37. I think it was 34 and just went up a little bit. So, and see, my space now is only 32%. I still have 308 gigabyte after deleting everything. So it really saved my space after I delete the SD card. So everything else is running on my 2 terabyte hard drive. So it's plenty of space to run the game. I wish that Virtualman will remove that shortcut and whatever the configuration he did, because I tried to remove it and I did successfully remove the shortcut. It's not hard to remove the shortcut, but when I put the game in there, it got confused between the PC Engine and the Turbo 16, and then PC Engine CD with Turbo 16 CD. It just corrupt all my game to 0. So I wish he understand that those game set are not the same. The Turbo 16 and PC Engines and the CD and the Turbo 16 CD, they have totally different game set. There's Japanese version, there's English version. It's not like Sega Genesis, where you could just change the title from Sega Genesis to Mega Drive. Okay, the game set is totally different. United States only have few game, I think like 140, and the Japanese have like 293 game, and that's not overlapping the game. They have totally 140 game, Sega CD, Turbo 16, PC Engine 200, I think 93 CD. I might be off on the number because I don't remember 100% right now, but yeah, I wish you remove it so that way I could put my game set in here. But if not, I just put it on my Raspberry Pi 3B Plus instead, and this one I just use for the game that does not work on Raspberry Pi 3B Plus, so just use this one as a Raspberry 4B. But yeah, so right here, like you're supposed to go to music turn on and turn off. Okay, see, keep on getting value initialize error right there. Okay, I'm gonna click on it again so you can see. I click on it, it said fail to find mixed element, background music enable. Okay, but there's no background music because some file is missing after the upgrade. So I don't know what is the problem. I even try using the sound setting here. Now it's not a sound setting issue because the sound is good, but let me turn this one up. Audio card default PCM, that's what I'm using. Enable video audio, enable, let's try enable that too. Okay, and I'm gonna get back, and I'm going to go ahead and restart the system. And that, see right there, value fail to find mixture element, value control. So those are the error I get, and I think a lot of people are getting that error too after upgrade to the latest version of Raspberry Pi. See, normally when this started, you will have some sound, but you're not getting any sound no more. So I even went to the tool that he created, some kind of play box that he created that's supposed to fix it. Let me show you the other place that what I would do to fix it, but apparently it didn't fix it. So if you really want a sound background, okay, like music background, then I recommend don't do any update. If you do, this is the problem you run into. All the game will work fine, it's just the music background does not work no more. Okay, so if you don't want that to happen, then don't do any update. Okay, but if you doesn't bother you, I mean, there's music when you go inside the game, like you go in, there's music on all the game video. It's just the music background does not work. Okay, it's just the music background that he created that do not work anymore. Where's my option again? I hate this. Every time I'm looking for option, can't find it. Bear with me. I'm trying to find the option screen. Here you go. Okay, there's another one that he have is called a PlayBox tool. Okay, PlayBox tool. And in here, you're supposed to able to fix it. Okay, so right here it says fix PlayBox customer menu. All right, let's try that. And then number 2, fix the region. We already did that. And then here it say repair the PlayBox power Raspberry Pi something system. Okay, and then restore the music set. Okay, fix that. All right, and that's pretty much it. So exit out. I'm gonna click reboot. See, still say value initialize fail to find mixture element. Value control. Value control initialize fail to find the mix element. So by rebooting the system, I don't think it will fix anything because you still have the error there. So I don't know. So if you really don't want the sound to disappear on the video when you're doing the music or screensaver, then that's what I recommend. I probably need to go into the other option on the retro config where it fix the splash screen. I don't know if that will fix anything. I don't think so. But anyway, that's my update. And my system is overclocked to 2.1. So those of you who are interested to know. All right, that's the end of my conclusion of the Raspberry for Virtualman hard drive. If you want the music to work, you probably don't want to do any update. But if you don't care, If this is okay with you guys, then yeah, go ahead and do the update. But if it does bother you, then don't do the update on that portion of it. Alright, if I find out how to fix the sound, I'll let you guys know and I'll put on the description, but right now I don't. Okay, so just FYI, I don't know how to fix it, and I don't know, does Virtualman know how to get that thing back by using his little script that he created? I don't know. Alright, thank you for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.